Hi everybody, so we are going to make a meal that we are going to eat for dinner throughout the week. Not only do we meal prep for Orlando's lunches, we also do it for dinner as well, because throughout the week we get really busy and lazy when we go to the gym and just have so much other stuff going on.
Nah, you lazy at the gym. I ain't lazy at the gym.
So we already have 4 or 5 pounds of chicken breasts, and what we do, we cut off all the fat, or Orlando cut off all the fat, and we cut them in like chicken tender strips. So what I'm going to do, I'm already going to take the cut up chicken and put it in a tin foil to marinate. After I season this, I'm gonna marinate it for about an hour. But all I have is really basic stuff. Some black pepper, mustard. You can use honey mustard as well. And then I have the best thing ever invented, which is this chili garlic sauce. And smells so good. It has cracked red pepper in it.
It's got crack in it?
Yes, it might as well because it's delicious. So it's really delicious to have. It just gives you an extra spice. Again, if you don't like spice, that's totally okay. But these are the basic things that we like. We have honey, but I'm gonna add that. And once I finish putting all the ingredients in there, we're gonna show you guys how it looks. All right, so I have my ginger cut up, and some people might not like ginger. Try it out and see if you like it. Once you cook it down, it doesn't really have such a potent flavor.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah, it's really good, especially when it's marinated into the chicken. You're not gonna actually be eating whole pieces of ginger. It's going to be just marinated and soaked up with the chicken and just have great flavors mixed with the honey. I'm gonna add some of this mustard. I'm gonna mix that around. All in the crevices.
Look at that hand action though. Jeez Louise, I wish I was a chicken breast right now.
I eyeball how much mustard I want. I'm just coating the chicken right here. I'm not drenching it in it. I'm just coating it. Then I'm gonna add some honey. Again with this, I'm just coating the chicken. Forgot to mention, Sunday is bum day, all right?
The bum day for you? Speak for your damn self.
All right, so I have the honey and the mustard incorporated, so I'm gonna add my other wet ingredients, which is about 2 tablespoons of this chili garlic sauce. It's freaking delicious. Honestly, I would marinate the whole chicken in this, but so same thing what I did with the honey and the mustard, just kind of covering it and then coating it with my hand. Okay, because we're not using salt, we do like to have that extra flavor. So this chili garlic sauce and that ginger really brings out the actual chicken flavor. So after I incorporated that chili sauce, I'm gonna be adding some black pepper, and then I'm gonna add the ginger. So I'm just gonna put that on top and underneath the chicken. After I added this, I'm gonna kind of make sure that all the pieces do have some of the chopped up ginger on there. Okay guys, so everything's incorporated in there and it's just time to marinate. Now when you marinate things, you want to make sure you cover it with foil and you're not leaving it out in room temperature. You're actually gonna put it in the fridge. All right, so I have it covered with my foil and I'm just going to put it in the fridge for about 45 minutes to an hour. Now with chicken, you don't need to marinate it for that long. So you're fine with about 45 minutes to an hour, especially if you're in a rush. Chicken is great to marinate fast. Okay, so I have about 4.5 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes, and I'm going to cut these up, and I'll just show you a quick way that I cut them for this recipe. I'm going to cut them in half, and then once they're in half, I'm gonna cut them in half again, and then from the sides, and that's about the size that you want them. Just remember, when you're cooking potatoes and anything for that matter, you want them to be about the same size. And then I'm just gonna cut the rest of these for you guys. All right guys, so I finished cutting up my potatoes, and I just wanted to remind everybody that I did leave the skin on because, like I said, this recipe is the best for crispiness made in the oven. So we're not frying, of course, because we're trying to be healthy. It's a lifestyle.
No, we're being healthy. I ain't trying.
Yeah, so I have about 3 quarts of water being boiled, and since there is no salt, I do use baking powder. I use about 1/2 teaspoon, which may not seem like a lot, but it is. So while I am waiting for my water to boil and for my garlic to get brown, just remember since we are baking these, you want to have your oven preheated. So the temperature is 425, and we are going to have all of this info in the description.
All right, guys, so Jade's whipping it in the kitchen. We're out here checking on this coal. As you can see, the embers down there, that's exactly what we want to see. It's burning through and catching fire. So this one, I would say maybe has another 15 to 20 minutes to burn before we can use it for cooking.
So I took the garlic off of high heat and put it to medium. We're just getting a nice toast look on here. Then I'm going to add about 1/4 of a cup of coconut oil. It may seem like a lot, but we did make a lot of potatoes. So I'm gonna stir that around a little bit, and then I'm gonna add my seasonings. But I do 1/4 of a teaspoon of rosemary, 1/2 teaspoon of parsley, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, and 1/2 teaspoon or more of black pepper. And I'm just gonna add that in here. And this is going to be used to coat the potatoes once they're on the pan. I'm gonna stir that around and just kind of cook that for another couple minutes or so. My water is about to start boiling, so I'm just gonna add the baking powder right now.
Man, we're gonna roll with that 1/2 teaspoon, huh?
Guys, just remember not to burn yourself when you're using boiling water. So just
Rule number 1, guys. Don't do that.
So I'm just taking the potatoes in my spoon and just putting it in there.
Alright guys, so as you can see, the coal is definitely 100% ready to be used for cooking. Next thing you want to make sure is that you have a man glove, because if you don't have a man glove, you're gonna mess up your day, guys. You're gonna burn the shit out of your freaking hand. Pick it up real nice and gently, bring it over here to the grill, toss it, and then with the tongue you just want to kind of spread it around evenly. Then once you have that on there, you put the grill on there, and let's put the chicken on. Alright guys, so the chicken's marinated, the grill's hot. You want to make sure that you add the thicker pieces towards the center so they can cook properly, and then the thinner pieces out towards the sides. We're gonna leave this on the grill for about 15 minutes and then turn it. You wanna make sure that you don't have too many coals when you light it up.
Okay, so my potatoes are easy enough to put the fork in there. Okay, so I took my potatoes off of the boiling water and I'm just gonna drain them. So we're just gonna let that sit for a little bit.
Guys, so it's been about 15 minutes. So let's flip it and see how it looks. Yep, that's exactly what we wanted, guys. You got nice grill marks.
Okay, so I let the potatoes cool for a couple minutes, and what I'm gonna do, rough these potatoes up a little bit, and if you see, they're becoming really just all incorporated into each other.
But not so much that it's like a mashed potato, right?
Yeah, no. And that's why we don't want to overboil it, because if we overboil it
it's gonna be mush, huh?
it'd be mush. So you see, I do have whole pieces here. So just make sure, whatever pan you're using, if it's non-stick, make sure that it's very well greased. I am going to pour this on the baking sheet. I don't know if I mentioned earlier, which I think I did, but I'm just gonna mention again, we did boil them to cut the baking time in half. Now we know that all the potatoes are cooked on the inside. So all we're looking for is that nice ass crisp.
Ooh, crispy, just like when Jay come back from the beach. Nice and crispy and delicious.
So now if you're wondering about that herb sauce we have, I'm just going to coat all of the potatoes with that, and then I'm gonna mix it a little bit. Okay, so now that we have our potatoes all evened out, I'm just going to put it in the preheated oven that we have, and
the purple oven, boy.
I have it on about the middle rack. And what you want to do is cook it for about 20 to 25 minutes, depending on your oven.
Alright guys, so I just pulled the chicken off the grill. It looks delicious, guys. You want to make sure that you don't keep it on there too long, because it's going to dry out and taste like a shoe sole.
Okay, so it's been about 25 minutes. I'm going to take my potatoes out of the oven and we're going to flip them.
Woo, that's like when Beyonce gets on stage. Lord Jesus, give me strength, it's hot. Oh my God, hold on, let me take a look. Y'all take a look at this.
So as you can see, the potatoes are really crispy. All right, so we're just gonna do a quick flip. It's been about 25 minutes, and then we're gonna put them back in for another 25 to 30 minutes. I am going to take these bad boys out of the oven, and we're about to eat.
Smells like rally fries and looks like Beyonce, boy.
Well, as you can see, we have some really crisp potatoes. All right, guys, so I'm just having a little slice of chicken breast with the little potatoes. I'm also treating myself. It is Sunday, so I'm gonna have a little Gatorade. That one's not as sugary, and some hot sauce.
All right, my dudes, and I'm having 3 pieces of chicken breast. This is actually 1.5 chicken breasts because I had cut it in half. I'm having some potatoes, and I'm putting some Greek yogurt on top of it. All right, guys, official taste test. Let us know how it is.
So good. The ginger tastes amazing in there. And of course my hot sauce.
That ain't the only thing that's gonna taste amazing.
Oh my god.
All right, guys, whole official taste test. Let's see how it is. Man, 100% honest, that's the best friggin', I can't even speak right now, that's so good. That's the best friggin' potatoes I've ever had in my whole life.
That crisp.
It's so good. All right, guys, don't forget to comment, like my subscribe.
Try our food.
Try our food out, let me know how it is, guys. And most of all, stay watching, my friends.